and I've seen leopards contact call, and it sometimes needs to be within a few hundred meters that they hear themselves. It's a sound that we wouldn't pick up at the same distance for sure, but it's definitely a few hundred meters that they would try and kind of contact call. But she's expecting something here. She walked up to this fallen over tree, and almost as if to say, well, there should be my son, or should be something here, and there isn't. And now she's kind of looking around, and off she goes again. I wonder if this is where Thamba was left yesterday and has since carried on and moved around. Might be a tough find for Thandi. She might have to do quite a bit of work to find Thamba after last night. We know that they did move a little bit, so maybe he came from here, headed to Twin Dams to go and drink, and was wanting to come back this way. This way, there we go. So Seb's saying, careful of my earpiece. Yes, Seb, we need to be careful. Otherwise I'm going to be in a lot of trouble if I break the only remaining earpiece that we have. Tony, you're wondering if the males and females of the leopards all smell like, their urine all smells like popcorn? Yes, both male and female. It's not just the females, both male and female smells like that. You'll find when you follow Tingana, you get quite regular wafts of popcorn as you follow in behind him. There we go. Let's start getting a bit of light onto the situation. It's starting to get a little on the dark side this evening. I just want to try and see if I can tighten this light a little bit. It's not great, but at least it's a bit tighter than what it was. This is definitely where she must have left Thamba, because she's looking a lot more, she's sniffing, she's staring into all of these areas. Tomorrow you asking if I'm still able to eat popcorn, or if I just think of leopard urine when I do it. Well, yes, I can still eat popcorn, and yes, I do think of leopard urine when I do it. It's a weird thing, but I still can manage it. I'm not too fussy about the fact. In fact, it's a good memory when you think that you're eating and you can smell a leopard in what you're eating. Is always, for me, a good way of remembering, and lots of good sightings of leopard. So I'm quite happy with the fact that I can kind of pick it up through that smell, and it reminds me, like I say, of a lot of cool things that I've done and amazing times I've had in my life. So I certainly don't complain about it at all, and we'll still eat popcorn because, well, popcorn is quite Moorish, isn't it? Seb, you still struggle? You struggle with popcorn? No, not at all. Quite happy to put the popcorn down the gullet, eh? Yes. I'll try to go forward a bit so you can see more of her face. There we go. Little glint in her eye from our light. Adele, you're asking if any other animal urine has a particular smell. Yes, the genets. The genets smell just like the leopards in terms of they smell very similar in that popcorny smell. I'm just trying to think what else. That's about it, really. The rest don't have any very particular smell, not like the leopard's popcorn smell. Definitely not as pungent as that. Bats have, I suppose, guano that really is quite stinky, and their urine does develop a smell over time, but it's not as pungent as what you see with the leopards. What are you looking for, girl? She's definitely listening and looking. And look at that beautiful tail, Seb, on the branch there. You can see, while we look at the back of her head, all curled. The typical leopard curl that you see right there. Big fluffy white tip to the tail. They do have the most exquisite tails, do leopards. White with little black spots all over it. It is a wonderful thing to see, and it's so expressive, those tails. They'll tell you a lot about what that animal is thinking. But as yet she hasn't called, which means that she's not in the exact place that she left Thamba, but she might have picked up his scent, and that's why she's been stopping and listening every now and then, but she's not in the exact place. Otherwise we would have heard her contact calling for him. Now you can see that the limp, while it is not ideal, is really not too bad. Look how she's sniffing. Big, big deep breaths. What are you smelling? wonder if she's not picking up the scent of Hosanna from last night. Maybe he walked here as well. See, nose to the ground. Smelling all over the place. So she's picked up the scent of somebody or something. Whether or not it's her son or Hosanna or maybe Tingana is anyone's guess. It could also be a prey item. Sometimes they will locate Steenbok and Duiker exactly the same way. They'll walk around like this, they'll sniff and scent where those animals have urinated, and that will allow them to be able to find them. And we might see a Fleming grimace. You see she's got her nose right down in a patch of sand. There we go. There's the Fleming grimace right there. So she's analyzing a chemical scent that she's picked up. She's working out who that leopard is that urinated there. So she curls her back, her lips. She'll have two pits just in the roof of her mouth that the scent will go into, and into that organ of Jacobson. And that's going to tell her male, female. Is it her son? Is it not her son? Is it the dominant male Tingana? She'll be able to work out an ID kit just from the urine. And she's probably will do it again. Sometimes do it more than once if they're not 100% sure. There we go. You can see the teeth are starting to yellow, but still long and still healthy. Oh. Have you worked out who it is, girl? No, not yet. Not quite satisfied yet as to who it is. I would imagine it must be Tamba. Like I said, this is exactly where he came from yesterday. We heard the Nyala barking from here. We radioed one of the other guys and he stopped here and he came out from this section onto Twin Dams Road and then south towards Twin Dams itself. So it must be where he was resting yesterday, and that's maybe why she's picking up that scent. But it's amazing how she's using her skill of tracking to actually find her son, which is incredible. So we track them by watching their footprints, but she's tracking her son almost by chemical signature. So she's looking for scent and is trying to find him that way, which is incredible to me, especially if it's urine from yesterday. Imagine how powerful their noses must be to be able to pick up that trace of scent and to find it in this area. It really is a phenomenal thing. Are you going to lie there, girl? So I'll try and get you into a slightly better position. Let's try from the other side. I just want to see, we might be able to get a nice view from actually down the bank a little bit. It might not be, but we'll just try it. If it's not, I'll come back to this area. But it would be, I don't know, maybe not, but let's see. It might work. And round the bush we go. Come on. Come on. Yeah, there we go. A few little birds alarm calling here and there. I'm sure they've seen not that appreciative to have her around them at night, even though she won't go after small birds. Here's tracks of a moving southwards. So there's tracks in the sand of another leopard by the looks of things. So I wonder if that's not her tracks. There we go, Seb. I don't know if it's going to be great view maybe in front here.